Come into child's pose, please. Okay. So knees can be wide, knees can be narrow, arms can be back by your sides or overhead. But the idea in child's pose, where we're starting, is to just allow yourself to kind of melt down into the floor. And as you turn the gaze down, as you release your forehead down, it's an opportunity to turn inward. And really, this whole practice is an opportunity to turn inward, to find this path of self-discovery, of breath, of movement, of thought, of observation, how we respond to the practice, how we respond to asana, to breath, our reactions. And you can even have a reaction here in me asking you to start in child's pose. Maybe this isn't how you wanted to start, and just observe those things. Really notice the quality of your breath here. That's going to shape and shift as we move through the practice. And so a lot of the time I'll talk about detachment, and it's this healthy detachment of you don't have to buy into everything as it is right now, because it shifts, it changes. And so we detach from what we feel in this moment because it could change in 30 seconds. And we just act as observers of what we are receiving. You're going to rise to your hands and your knees. You're going to take your right arm up to the sky. And you're going to thread this right arm under the left side. So upper body, thread the needle. Release your right temple or your cheekbone to the ground. And then your left arm can go overhead if it feels good. Pull both hips back, especially the left hip. Notice how you kind of want to swing off to the left side. Pull the left hip back. With every exhale, start to scoop the belly in a little bit more. And as you're here, can you put a little more pressure into this right shoulder and just kind of draw back against that? Get all the fingernails on the right hand into the ground. And then bring that left hand back in under the shoulder, come back up through center. And we're going to go right into the other side, just extending the left arm and threading it over to the right. Left temple, left cheek come to the ground. If you want, the right arm can go overhead, and then just notice what happens in your hips if you kind of fall off to one side. See if you can correct that. You your feet, push your shins down. Soft, steady, even breath. I'm going to bring the right hand back in, come back onto hands and knees. And then if it's okay, you're going to turn your fingers slightly open. We're going to rock our weight side to side. And then maybe turn the hands a little more open. And then maybe turn the hands so the fingers point at the knees. So we're going to still go side to side here. All these are maybes, so you can always just like, nope, doesn't work on my body. And back through center. And then if it's okay, you're just going to rock forward and back. So we're stretching the wrists, the forearms. Yeah. Really good. Come back around. Bring your elbows down to the ground carefully. And then inch them forward just a bit more. Take the hands to the sky and drop the heart through. Push down into the elbows, draw the front ribs in, bring the hands back under the shoulders. Knees only hips distance. You're gonna shift forward, you're gonna bend the elbows, come into modified chaturanga, come back up, and then stretch back. Inhale, rise. Halfway down chaturanga, back up, inhale, down, press back, child's pose rather. Inhale, this time we're gonna go to down dog. Exhale, chaturanga. Tuck the toes as you come up, and now downward facing dog. Hips high, heels pressing toward the ground. As you look back at your feet, you should see the fronts of your feet, your toes, the tops of your feet. If you can see the inner heel, draw the heels a little bit outwards. You don't wanna have the heels in just to get your heels down. It's not that important. What's more important is keeping the ankle neutral, because the foot's gonna guide the leg all the way up into the hip. With an inhale, shift into plank. You're gonna stay on the balls of the feet. You're gonna control this through to upward facing dog on the balls of the feet. And then right knee comes into your chest, round your back. Step the right foot back, controlled upward facing dog on the balls of the feet. And then left knee draws in, round the back. Do that again. Inhaling, up dog. Exhale, knee in. One more, inhale. And exhale. I lie, one more, inhale. Right knee in, and then place your right foot between your hands. Put your back knee down. And then push into the front foot to rise up. And then sweep the arms up. Good. Back toes can be tucked, or you can release the toes so that the top of the foot and the toenails are down. That's gonna be up to you. And then stretch to the side body. Lengthen the fingers to the sky. Take one more breath in, and then release your hands down. Straighten your front leg, shift your hips back. Feel the depth coming from the crease of the right hip. And then notice where you are. So for me, I have the tendency I want to fall off to my left side. And so I kind of have to push that left hip in a little bit to hold my center here. It might be different on your body. You might be perfectly square. You might be leaning off to the right side. Just feel where you are and see if you can balance so that you feel centered. Rebend the right leg, tuck the back toes, turn the back heel to the center of your mat. Your hand can stay down at the ground, your arm can come up onto your thigh. You're gonna wrap open into side angle. With an inhale, rising up, turn your back heel in just a bit and come to Skandasana at the back of your mat. This doesn't have to be deep, maybe up a little higher, depends on where you feel comfortable. And then we're gonna move with this. So we're just gonna go up and down a few times, lifting and then sinking down. And lifting and sinking down. 3 more, inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time, inhale. And then exhale. With an inhale, come around to the top of the mat. Left hand down, right hand to the sky. Easy twist open. One more inhale. Bring your hand down to the ground. Step back to plank. Stay in plank, please. Take a few breaths here. You're gonna inhale to up dog on the balls of the feet. And then exhale, left knee draws into your chest. Place your foot forward, back knee down. Anjaneyasana, rising up. Push into that front foot. So it's not just about collapsing down. You've got to push into that front foot to feel the lift in the pelvic floor. Especially if you're really bendy, you need that resistance. And that's going to give you more strength around the joints. And ultimately, that takes us deeper into postures. One more inhale. Release the hands down, straighten your front leg, shift your hips back. Deepen from the crease of the hip. Take a few breaths to just kind of get into Ardha Hanumanasana and then start to feel your center. Are you off to one side? Are you centered? And then rebend that front leg. Tuck the back toes, turn the heel to the center of your mat. Side angle, roll it open. Beautiful. Soft, steady, even breath. And with an inhale, lifting up, sinking to the back of the mat. So turn the back heel in a little bit and Skandasana. Just take a few breaths to kind of find where you feel good here before we move with it. And then I would lift up, inhale. And exhale, sink. Inhale. And exhale, sink. Really nice. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rise up and around. Right hand comes to the ground. Come up onto the right toes. Twist open to the left. Last breath in, and comes down. Step back to plank, inhale and plank. This time chaturanga. Use your knees if you need to. Rise, upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Exhaling. Inhale, lift your heels high. Exhale, bend your knees, stretch your hips back, and then look forward. Feet come to your hands, walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway. Fold down, exhale. Inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, draw your hands into your heart. Pause and breathe, couple breaths here. Stack your joints, find your center. So today it's all about finding your center in every single pose. Sometimes we think we're on our center, but we're just in a familiar place. That's not always our center. So find your center where you feel balanced, front to back, side to side, up and down. And then can we keep that sense of center as we move, as we flow? Release the hands down, broaden the chest. Inhale, sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, bow forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a full breath out. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, look forward, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Inhale, rise up to stand. And then draw your hands into your heart. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, forward fold. Half forward fold, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale, full exhale. Inhale, high to your toes. Exhale, bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Exhale, hands into your heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, bow. Hi, mister. Inhale, halfway. Chaturanga, exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog, exhale. Big inhale. Full exhale. Inhale, lift your heels. Exhale, bend your knees, feet to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise, inhale. Hands into your heart, exhale. Utkatasana, chair pose. Bend your knees, rise to the arms, rise to the heart, lift the chest. Good, shift your shins back, but keep your toes down. Inhale, left knee rises up. Press the right leg straight. Right hand to your left knee, maybe to your foot, and then we twist to the left. Yes, 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 stay in it. Can you lift the heart a little higher? Are you on your center? We're gonna stay facing this direction. We're just gonna open up into half moons. You're gonna sweep this left leg back. You turn open, right hand maybe to the floor. Maybe you float it today and really work that balance. And can you find your center there? Maybe you need your hand on a block, whatever you need, but working that center. Sorry, mister. Little mister wants in on this practice today. You gonna be my block? Okay.
Everybody's got opinions on nothing. Say we're flying down a path with no ending. And if I die before I wake,
You're gonna take your left foot to the back of your mat. You're gonna come up and around. Rise up through the heart. Come into crescent pose. You're facing the back of your mat. So your left leg is your front leg now. So just twist it around. And then we're gonna twist her some more. Bring your hands into your heart. Take your right arm outside of your left thigh. Twisting to your left. Back leg real strong. Every inhale, create more length. Every exhale, go a little deeper. Stay. You know what I'm gonna say in your center. One more full breath. And then release with your exhale. Come through center, turn that right heel in. You're gonna adjust your left toes a little more inward if you need to. Come into goddess pose. One more inhale. Come around top of the mat. Step back to plank. Inhale and plank. Lower down, chaturanga. I'm getting booted off my mat here. Inhale, rise. And downward facing dog. You notice how I don't move him, I just leave him and move around him? That's the story of my life. Adjusting my center to my cats. It's not my cat, it's my baby. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, bring your feet up to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Share, inhale. Inhale, pick up the right knee, rise up to stand. Take your left hand to your right knee or maybe to your foot. That doesn't mean your leg has to be straight. You can be here. And don't make me say it, right? Find your center. This is what it's all about. Every pose, we're just finding our center. We're finding our breath. We're making sure we're pain-free. Maybe pushing our limits a wee bit. So we stay facing this direction. We let this leg go. And we open into half moon. Yes. So in the process of finding our center, sometimes we fall out of poses, but you gotta do the work. You gotta be willing to like fall out of a pose, to not be perfect, like a still photo. There's so much movement happening, even in stillness. Letting our ego move aside so that we can grow. Yes. Come to the back of your mat with your right foot, come all the way up and around to face the back of your mat for crescent pose. Take a beat there. Make sure your stance feels good. So if your feet are too narrow, like you're on a tightrope, it's gonna be really hard to add the twist into this. So give yourself some width, some length. And then bring your hands to heart and take the left arm outside of the right thigh. Push that left thigh to the sky. Draw the heart forward. Feel every single breath. None of them are throwaways. Every one of them matters. And come back up and around. And then got it. So you can adjust your feet however you need to. You don't have to have your feet straight out to the side and then your knees are falling in. Find the line that allows your knees and your feet to go in the same direction. Extend the arms out. Feel your center here. Balance the pelvis. Balance the weight in your feet. Draw some width across your collarbones, across your upper back. Do you have a little more depth to give me? To give yourself, really? It's not for me, it's for you. I'm just the one asking for it. Last inhale. Bring your hands around. Step back to plank. Lower down, chaturanga. Rise. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog with your exhale. Just take a pause here. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, look forward, bring your feet up to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold down, exhale. Utkatasana, chair. Left knee rises up. Right hand to left knee or foot. Extend and open. Half moon, standing on this right leg, sweep the left leg back, opening up. Step to the back of the mat, come all the way around through crescents, and then right into your twist. Come into goddess, so open back up. Now we've got a little change here, sink down. And then go right to the back of your mat, Skandasana. Come around to the top of your mat. Left hand down, right hand up, twisting to your right. And then bring your hand down to the ground. Step back to plank, stay with me. Up dog. And then right knee into your chest, place your foot forward. Stay here. Reach the arms forward. Come into chair. Right knee rises. We twist to the right. Beautiful. Beautiful. Open up, half moon. Take your right foot to the back of the mat. Pivot all the way around. And then twist to the right. Come around, goddess, sinking down. Skandasana, back of the mat. Beautiful. Round to the top of the mat. Right hand down, right heel lifts. Twist it open. Bring the left hand down. Step back to plank and then right into up dog on the balls of the feet. Right knee in. Step the foot forward. Chair pose, top of the mat. We go again. Left knee rises up. We twist. And then we open half moon. Step to the back of the mat, pivot around, twist to your left. Yes, through the center, goddess. Back of the mat, Skandasana. Top of the mat, left hand down, right hand to sky. And then right hand down. Step back to plank. Up dog on the balls of the feet. And then left knee into your chest. Place your foot forward. You're gonna come through chair. Right knee rises up. We twist. Half moon. Open it up. Back of the mat, pivot around to crescent. And then lunge twist to the right. Goddess, come through center, sinking down. Back of the mat, Skandasana. Top of the mat, twist. Hand down. This time full vinyasa, chaturanga, upward facing dog, and downward facing dog. Beautiful. Let's take a few breaths. Inhale, right leg straight back. Right knee, right tricep. Inhale, back, open the hip. Wide open if it feels good. And then right foot top of the mat. Back heel turns in. We're coming into triangle from the ground up, which I know can be tricky for some of us because we're used to coming in from the top down. So push down into this right foot. Start to straighten the right leg and wrap the chest open. Lengthen the right side body out. So we've got to elongate by drawing the right hip crease back. That's going to give your spine room. Bring your left arm behind your back. Maybe grab onto that right thigh. And then bend the right knee. We're coming into side angle here. So you can keep the right hand down. You can extend it overhead. If the full wrap is here for you and you want to bring that right arm to the inside of the right leg and then take the hands underneath that right hip to meet. Or maybe behind the hip if you've got the mobility. And then we're coming back into triangle. If you want to keep the wrap, keep the wrap. Last inhale. Release the wrap. Bring the hands around. Turn onto the left hand, left foot. Vashisthasana. Open it up. Yes. Beautiful.
Remember when you said my love was like the rain, not the sweet sound after the drought.
Last breath in. Chaturanga with your exhale. Open the heart to the sky, inhaling. And downward facing dog, exhaling. Left leg straight back, inhale. Take your knee to your left tricep. Inhale, open the hip, flip over if you'd like. And then left foot top of the mat. Back heel turns down and we open up, lengthening, pressing this left hip back to roll open into Trikonasana. Yes. Really good. Stretch the arms long, so away from each other, like you're in Vashisthasana. Yes. Yes. Stay with your breath. You're amazing. Find your center. And then rebend or bend that front leg and bring the hand behind the back. Maybe you catch hold of your thigh. Maybe you take this left arm forward. Maybe you decide you would like a full wrap here. And so again, finding your center. If you're like this, or you're feeling like you're hanging off the edge of a cliff with this wrap, let go of the wrap, find your center. Stack things up. So shoulder on top of shoulder, hip pretty much on top of hip, front knee on top of heel. And you're lengthening the sides of your body. We're gonna come back to triangle. You can keep the wrap if you have it and you like it. Last breath in. And then bend the front leg, come around. Right hand, right foot. Vashisthasana, side plank. So modify as needed. Put the bottom knee down if you want. Come around, chaturanga. Rise, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale, lift your heels. Bend your knees, bring your feet up to your hands. Halfway, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise to stand, inhale. Draw your hands into your heart, exhale. I'm gonna mirror you as best I can. Take a couple breaths here. Feel your center here. Good, release your hands down. Tadasana, find your center. You know, everything's based on this basic anatomical position of finding your center. Pick up your right knee. Pin your left hip in. You can hold your knee with your same hand, so right hand to right knee, or take your big toe. We're gonna take this left arm out to the side. Good, everyone else wants to go right out to the side. Why? Because it's easier. I'm aware of this. Don't do it. Stay here, stay in it, stay with your breath. Can you breathe through any discomfort you might be feeling? If you're feeling pain, that's a different story. Adjust by bending the knee. If you're feeling like this is pulling, strong, smart. We're smarter than we think. We just dumb ourselves down by shutting down sensation, by shutting down emotion. Don't do it. Feel it, be in it. Inhale, open out to the side. Yes. Good. Don't let this leg pull you over. Plug the shoulder in. Really nice. You're gonna bend the knee as you come back through center. You're gonna cross ankle to thigh, sweep the arms up, and then start to sink the hips behind you. Beautiful. This is perfect. This is enough. We always feel like we have to do more. You don't have to do more. This is perfect. You're enough. This is enough. If you want, bring the chest down. If you want, bring your hands down. I'm gonna still stay mirroring you. If you want, you wrap the right foot around the left shoulder. You take weight into your hands, and then you tip forward. And you take the gaze forward. And then maybe you start to stretch the left leg back behind you. Yes, you do. Good. And then we come back out the same way we came in. We rise up. Let's pick up this leg. Arms overhead. Extend the leg out straight. Find your center. Find your center. Try not to lean back. Try not to lean forward. Lift up. One more inhale. Release the foot. Feet are about hips distance. Come all the way forward. First two fingers and thumbs wrap the big toes. Inhale, pull the heart forward. And then exhale, come on down. Your legs don't have to be straight. They might be. So instead of taking your chest to your knees or to your thighs, imagine you could take your chest to your shins. Lengthen your spine out. Pull the heart forward, inhale. Hands to your hips, exhale. Hug the elbows up and back to rise up to stand. And then bring your hands back into your heart. Come back through your center. Take a couple breaths. Release your hands at your side. Tadasana, mountain pose. You're powerful, you're strong. And then pick up your left knee. Left hand to your knee, to your foot. We're gonna take the arm out to the side. Imagine you've got a wall that you're just using your hand on, which if you have it, you can use it. Can you draw back on that hip crease of the lifted leg? With an inhale, opening out. It's okay to lose your center, to lose your balance and fall out of it. Come back to it. That's part of the process. I really mean that. Especially if I can't see you right now. Who cares? Challenge yourself a little bit. Try to work the legs straighter and stronger. Try to center your spine. If you fall over, so what? And start to bend the knee, bring that foot across. And then let's sink down. This is good. This is beyond good. This is beautiful. If you want, maybe you start to play your limit and getting deeper. Maybe you bring your hands down to the ground and you wrap this left foot. So this is really important. You wrap the foot around the shoulder or the tricep, and that's going to give you more strength. You try to slide your shin way up onto the triceps. And then you just start to take weight in your hands, and slowly you start to pick up the right leg. And then this is balancing act, and you start to shoot the leg back behind you. I just pushed right into the wall and pushed myself out of it. That happens. Sometimes you hit the wall. Really good. Yes, 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 yes. Beautiful. And then we come back out the same way we came in. And then take the feet at about hips distance. We're gonna go right back into Padangusthasana, first two fingers and thumbs around the big toes, or Padahastasana, taking the whole hand under the foot so that the palms are under the sole of the foot. Lengthen with an inhale. And then folding down, exhale. Drop the head. Draw the kneecaps up. Maybe start to take your gaze toward your belly button. Hi, bud. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Release your hands to the floor, Malasana, sinking the hips down and bringing your arms inside the knees, inside the legs, hands to heart, spine lifts. Notice your center here yet again. What's happening in your feet? Are you balanced in your feet? Are you all out into the pinky side of your foot? Are you all on your toes and your heels aren't going down, and that's okay? But can you take some weight toward your heels? That is primarily just due to ankle tightness. Totally fine, it may never change, don't worry. But can you become more centered, more balanced? What's happening in your neck? Where's the position of your head? Can you find some strength here? So for me, I'm very happy you who take my class regularly know I can just hang out down here, and this is how I sit when I'm playing with my kid. I need to lift up 1/4 of an inch, and then it's a whole new pose. And then I'm doing some work, I'm not just resting. Keep it awake, keep it alive. If you're feeling like all you're doing is working because this is a hard pose for you, can you ease yourself into it a little deeper and find some of the softness of the pose? So you balance work into ease in every single pose. That's part of finding your center. Balance work with ease. One more inhale. Release your hands down, turn the toes forward, forward fold. Come halfway up with your inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Rise up and open, inhale. Mister, you gotta move. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right leg back, inhale. Right knee, right tricep, exhale. Inhale, open, flip your dog if you would like. And then step your right foot to the top of your mat. Turn the back heel in. Option to take your first 2 fingers and your thumb to your big toe. And then to straighten both of your legs as much as you can for triangle. If that front leg doesn't straighten, it's okay, because this is a new version for you, perhaps. Pulling on the big toe to lengthen out the sides. Good. Rebend the front leg, left hand to the ground. Keep the big toe if you can. Spiral onto the left pinky side of foot. And then side plank, Vashisthasana with that leg. Really sit, Chaturanga. Rise. Downward facing dog. Left leg back, inhale. Left knee, left tricep. Inhale, back and open, flip over if you would like. And then left foot top of the mat. Back heel turns down, first 2 fingers thumb. Wrap the big toe, pushing down and opening up. Pulling that left rib cage long. Yes. Yes, yes. One more inhale. Release the right hand down. We're coming into Vashisthasana. Right hand, right foot. Keep the leg if it's okay. Lift it up. And then last vinyasa of the day, Chaturanga. Rise to downward facing dog. Really beautiful. Take a few breaths. You've got options coming your way. Right foot steps halfway in. Plant your hands. You can stay here, standing splits, or plant your hands, pull your heart forward, pick up your right heel, bend your right knee, and then push from the right leg to lift up. Handstand prep, just kind of taking these lifts or maybe finding a handstand. Yes. Yes. Beautiful. And then come back to down dog. Just step it back. Breathe. Left foot halfway in. Standing splits, or plant your hands, bend your left knee, lift your left heel, shift your heart over the space between your thumbs, and then push from the bottom leg to take some hops. You got it, you got it. And then back to downward facing dog. Gorgeous. Breathe. Come down onto your knees. Rise up. Ustrasana. Contain the belly. Contain the front ribs. Inhale, rise up. Bring your hands forward. You've got options. Child's pose, sitting, or tuck the toes. Take a little hop up, or 2, or 3. Yeah. Yeah, is the right answer. Come back down, or come up if you're down. Rise up onto your knees. Good, lengthen up. If it's okay, take your right hand to your right heel, left arm up and back. The heart rising, you're not collapsing back, you're lifting. Come up and around. Go straight back. Left hand, left heel to come around to the left side. Rise back up and around the center. Same options, resting in child's pose, resting in seated, or tucking the toes and then taking some hops. Yes, and then we have one more camel coming onto your knees as you're ready. Good. Rising up to the heart, perhaps this time both hands to the heels, but perhaps not. Rising, lifting, opening. Inhale to lift. 5 breaths, either resting, child's pose, seated, or your last chance up for a handstand. Yes, yes, yes. Good. Really beautiful. All right, we're gonna come into single leg pigeon. If that pose doesn't work on your body, thread the needle, double pigeon, something else that feels fantastic, or maybe just a little bit better. So let's take right knee forward. Your shin does not have to be parallel to the front of the mat. Start with it on an angle. You can start to move it forward as it feels good. Knee, for most of us, wider than the hip feels good. But what I want you to do, more importantly than aligning to my alignment, is to find your center. To feel where you feel balanced, where there's some work, but there's some ease. Where you feel safe, but challenged. 2 more breaths. And then switching sides. Take the same process. Let the pose open up. Find your center. And sometimes there's ways to deepen the pose without taking more extreme physical positions, by feeling foundation points, by deepening the breath, by deepening your connection mentally to the pose. So often when something is uncomfortable or unfamiliar and we're not so sure about it, we distract ourselves with other things. This is why we love technology, right? You can scroll on your phone and do different things. I challenge you to go deeper instead. So instead of turning away from it, turn toward it, greet it, face it head on. Last couple of breaths here. And rising up, bringing both legs forward. I'm just gonna go on an angle here. Legs out straight. Inhale, lengthening up. So moving from the crease of the hip, not from the belly button, not from the waist, but from the crease of the hip, drawing forward. Maybe you find the big toes, maybe you find the edges of the feet, maybe you find your shins. Inhale, lift your heart. And then exhale, start to go a little deeper in, breath. Maybe physically. Every exhale, hollow the belly, draw the ribs in, give yourself some space to possibly go deeper physically. Inhale, rise back up. Bend your knees, roll down onto your back. Come into happy baby. And then if you need a twist, we'll take a twist. If there's something else you need more, do that instead. Left leg on top of right, take the knees to the right, left arm to the left. If it's okay, look over toward your left arm. Back through center, and then second side if you're twisting. And then back through center. Release your legs out, release your hands, release your arms, shoulders, jaw, gaze, breath. Shavasana. Allow your body to stay exactly how you are right now. You don't need to move. Just come back to your breath. Just observe yourself, how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally. And this practice is a tool, an amazing tool that we sharpen, that we hone in self-observation. And when we practice regularly, we start to integrate this into other elements of our world, into our dailies, how we do things, self-observancy, and how we do everything. Maybe you have a friend, we all do, or maybe it's you who says things like, I don't know why this keeps happening to me. And then as an observer, you're like, I know exactly why it keeps happening to you. We have to do that with ourselves. When we keep doing the same thing, we don't like the end product, we have to take some responsibility for it. Obviously, many things are out of our control, but how we react to things is something that we can work on. But also noticing our patterns, noticing our habits, the good ones, the ones that we could improve on. Now start to deepen the breath if it hasn't already. It probably has, just by coming back into awareness. And then gently make your way to seated. Even how you move from Shavasana to seated, notice how you do that. Is it with kindness? Is it always the same way? There's nothing wrong with that if it suits you. But I gave you no instruction on how to get up, so how did you come up? Just notice it. Once you're seated, bring your hands together at your heart. Honor yourself for showing up. I'm so thankful that you do. And I'm so grateful to share this practice with you. Inhale together. Honoring each other and ourselves, bow your mind to your heart, because we're all one. We are all one. How we treat ourselves is how we treat others. Rise with an inhale. Thank you so much for being here. Namaste.